on why Apple still uses Twitter. And the interesting part of this is the quote here. So the quote from Timmy Cook is, "It's there for discourse and as the town square." Now, if you're wondering, you've heard that before, and that was because Elon said that exact same sentence before he ended up buying Twitter and even after. So on the heels of Apple's Wonderlust event where they announced the new iPhone and all of that good stuff, there was an interview and they were discussing environmental goals as well, touching on the company's decision to keep using Twitter, investing in Texas, and more. So if you didn't know, it has appeared in the past that, well, it's not very open, that Tim Cook and Elon Musk are actually, they get along, and I think they see things a lot of the same way. Now, this comparison's been made before, but Tesla is kind of like the Apple of car companies. At least at the moment, there's always rumors of the Apple car coming, but I would not hold my breath for that one. So the interesting thing here is Apple has faced pushback on its decision to keep using Twitter, currently known as X, but including spending heavily to advertise on the platform. So Apple is actually one of the few companies who has upped their investment in X, which is interesting. Now, lots of other people, lots of other companies are like, we're staying away from whatever that is. And I feel like typically we'd see Apple being one of those companies, but in this case, they are continuing to support the platform, which is fascinating to see that Apple would be the one to go out of their way and do that. So Apple, when asked by Dickerson whether Apple should cease advertising on Twitter, Cook had an explanation. "It's something that we ask ourselves. Generally, my view is Twitter's an important property," Cook said. "I like the concept that is there for discourse and as a town square. There's also some things I don't like." Now, that is, I think, something that is incredible to see a CEO, especially a CEO of Apple, say out loud. Now, Dickerson, however, made an important clarification. "There's discourse, and then there's anti-Semitism," said Dickerson. And Cook basically said, yeah, which is abhorrent and just point blank, there's no place for it. "So is this something you're constantly evaluating?" And he said it's constantly something we ask ourselves, which is very true. I agree with Cook there. And I'm glad he's willing to support a platform that is at least attempting to do that well. I'm not saying they are, but they're at least attempting to do public discourse well, where people can still have discourse. And that is great to see. Now, Dickerson also questioned Tim Cook about Apple's continued expansion in Texas and how that balances with all the other weird stuff going on in Texas, because that's Texas, and he basically said there are always cases, whether we're selling or operating in a place, difference of opinion on something, but I'm telling you from our heart that we believe in everyone with dignity and respect, and that's how we show up as a company. And again, it's interesting to see Apple, of all companies, taking this step forward here. As a company, I wouldn't see necessarily expressing their views this way, but they're truly doing that. And it is great to see companies that are willing to stand up and just do things because that's what they want to do, and that's what they see should be done. And there's not many that get behind it like that will stand their ground. Apple is standing their ground here, as well as explaining why they're doing things. And that's, again, I'm happy to see it from a company like them. Now, Cook also said, "I don't do virtue signaling at all. I don't believe in it. We want to work hard." Cook said in today's interview that, "I want to see that it's pencils out because I want other people to copy it, and I know they're not going to copy a decision that's not a good economic decision." And Apple is trying to make it a good decision here. And again, Tim Cook, just for some reason, leading the way.